I'm Amanda, and this is Not Your Granny's Quilt Show. Hey, everybody, welcome to today's episode. I have a fun guest today, Amy Lollis. She runs a creative coaching business. She used to write quilting patterns, but she stopped doing that and sells her Scrap Academy so that you can learn how to make fun, scrappy quilts that are satisfying. She has a build your own Squarespace website course you can purchase as well, and an SEO workbook. So if you are trying to fine tune your online business, she's got a workbook to help you kind of work that search engine to your benefit. So she's got lots of great tips and advice on her page. She offers just kind of her raw and candid insights about what it means to be an online business in the year of our Lord, 2026, because that's where we are right now. And I just love chatting with her and just kind of digging into, what it means to be a business owner right now, what it means to be a woman owning a business and running things. And it was just a great chat. So I can't wait to share it with you. And let's dive right in. Hi, Amy. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm excited to chat with you today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited.
Yeah, I've been following your content for a while and watched you kind of have this like existential business shift over the last year and or so.
hmm
And so I'm really excited to chat about that. And you're doing some really exciting things kind of in the creative quilty maker world. So we'll definitely chat about that. But yeah, thanks for being here.
I think existential is a word. That's been I think that was my word of the year
Mhm.
unintentionally for 2025.
Yeah,
It was not supposed to be, but that's what it ended up being.
right.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
It's, I think it hits us when it hits us and there's not a goddamn thing we can do about it. So,
No, and I'm like an oversharer, so I'm like my existential is like out there.
yeah.
Like I'm not one. I can't like pretend to not be doing whatever I'm doing,
Yeah.
or like pretend to be happy doing something that I'm not happy doing. So I'm just like, here's the mess.
Yeah. Same.
Like
Yeah.
we all have the mess. Like I just don't pretend I don't have the mess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd rather put it all out there and not leave you guessing than
Yeah.
be like, who are you though?
Yeah. That kind of drives me crazy because I'm super nosy too. So when
I am
people are
too.
like perfect on the internet, I am digging, like CIA level digging to find out like who they are behind the scenes.
Hmm.
Like who were you before you were this? Like what does your early work look like? Like
Hmm.
I want to know the things. I want to know your whole story, start to
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
sure.
Because the
Well, speak.
polished end story is not it's boring. Like it's pretty,
Yeah.
but it's boring.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
It lacks like that humanness that we all crave to be connected to and to
hmm
see ourselves in, right? Like we're all mirrors of each other. So if what's being reflected back at you is only perfection, you're going to ultimately feel empty from it. So
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yep.
But well, speaking of start to finish stories, I want to know how you even got started into quilting and sewing in the first place, into the creative
So,
world.
like a lot of people, I started sewing when I had postpartum depression, when my
Mm,
oldest was a baby. Um, I had sewed a couple things before that point. I'd made a baby blanket for a friend and like a couple small things.
hmm.
But like those first few months of being like a new mom stuck at home with a baby and like things don't stay done. I had postpartum depression like so bad.
Hmm.
It was dangerously bad.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't leave the house. I was too anxious to drive. So I didn't leave the house for like I think she was 9 months old the first time I left by myself with her.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
was just stuck at home. And my husband works insane hours, like nights and weekends. He's gone. It's just wild. So I was like, I need something to make me feel like a human again. I need to finish something and have it stay finished.
Yeah.
Diapers, laundry,
Hmm.
feedings, all the things when you have babies and little kids and even big kids, like things don't stay done. And I was
No.
like, I need a sense of purpose. I need something that I can do and nobody undoes it. Like,
Hmm.
here's the thing I can make a quilt and nobody's unmaking that quilt. It is staying made. So I started sewing. And I did one tutorial from Missouri Star. And then I quickly realized how sewing math worked. And my second quilt on, I designed myself. Like I've designed every quilt I've ever made. In my early days, it was just like graph paper and colored pencils.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty
Yep.
standard. It's
Yep.
like the easiest way to rough it out too. It's like you don't have to get any fancy
Mm.
software, like know how to, I have to teach myself Adobe now. Like, ugh, Adobe can get fucked. Like it's so much work to learn how to use those.
Oh my God, I
I mean,
love Adobe.
I know
I
they're
love Adobe
great.
so much.
Yeah, they are great. They're just like a steep learning curve if you want
Yeah.
to use it well. And
Yeah.
so for like a beginner who's just like, I just want to make quilts, that's like your
Hmm.
outlet, learning that can be like a huge jump. So I'm
Yep.
I'm a fan of the old graph paper and color pencils to just get it out
Same.
of
I
your
still do
brain.
sometimes. Like when I'm sitting places with the kids, like I'll still sketch and doodle, and
Yeah,
I've got dot journal notebooks full of just half thought out ideas that are probably never going to see the light of day, but it's still an outlet.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like stuff's in there, you got to get it out. And it feels better to like, at least for me, like it feels better to just like have it on a piece of paper. I can come back to it if I want to. I'm not going to lose it in my brain and be like, what was that thing again?
Yeah.
It's, and
So
sometimes like that kind of stuff comes back and it's like, oh, I remember that thing. And but I think I can change it here and use it this way instead. So,
I have like a TMI story about
mhm.
that. So my quilt that ended up on the cover of, was it American Patchwork and Quilting this year? I did 4 magazine quilts last year that got published this year. So it was
Okay.
like, that was busy. But I think the one that made the cover, absolutely one of the best things I've ever made in my life. I designed it when I was at my kids' wrestling tournament, and I had
Oh,
like a bit of a stomach issue, and I was like in
oh,
the bathroom for a while.
yeah.
And the floor had this really pretty tile work in it, and it was in like a
Oh,
relatively nice high school gym. And I
yeah.
was like, that would make a really cute quilt. So I like doodled it, and then when they did this like this open call for magazines for this quilt, I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I have something perfect for that. So now the whole internet knows that my famous cover quilt was designed in a high school bathroom. You never know. Like you never
Yeah,
know when those doodles are going to turn into like your next big thing.
yeah, truly. And if you have an eye for it, I mean, it doesn't matter where it's at. Like I I find inspiration everywhere. And bathrooms are very often a place because they're always tiled and there's
Mm-hmm.
always some different pattern and sometimes the walls have it and you're just like, wow, that's cool. So yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Do you
I
have
love
like
that.
a ton of pictures in your phone of like
Yeah.
ridiculously mundane things that you're like, that could be something beautiful?
Hmm. Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
think
I'm
that's
always
what we do.
taking pictures of stuff. And there was, I mean, last summer, well, in 2024, and then also in 2022, I was in Europe and I was just taking pictures of everything tile, buildings, window layouts on buildings, just like everything. Cause
Mm-hmm.
there's so much cool stuff around and so many different styles of architecture all mixed together. And it was just super inspirational. Have I done anything within it? No, I haven't, but it's
No.
still there. And
Mm.
well, that's not true. I did put, I mean, it was simple, but it was still the vibes. I put a scalloped, like, uh, kind of clamshell, I guess, pantograph design on the quilt I made with the Barcelona fabric line from Caterina Roccella because it echoed like that. The Casa Batlio, which was designed by Gaudi, and the outside has scallop tiles that look like dragon scales. And so
Oh,
it
that's
was a
so cool.
nod to that. So that was my inspiration. But anyway, yeah, there's just so much stuff. And it's funny because like my sister-in-law is very crafty and creative and she has her own like creative business. And so she's always finding inspiration everywhere. And she literally just posted like just different pictures she took as she was kind of traveling over the holidays and different things and like what it's inspiring for her. And I was like, yeah, she's one of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Squirrel brain. Squirrel
Hmm.
brains. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that for us though.
I know. So many fun ideas. And it's Like, I just wish I had enough physical capacity and like time to just make everything I want to make because it's too hard.
What's her name? Oh my gosh. I can hear my family clinking dishes in the background. I
I
homeschooled
can't
three
hear it.
kids, by the
Oh,
way. Okay, I don't know.
I
Like
can't
it's
hear it.
echoing really loud in my ears.
Oh,
So like they're always here. So like there's
yeah.
at least everybody's I think dressed today. So if somebody like runs in behind me, at least there's no like bottoms hanging out. Um,
Yeah.
but like there's background noise. And I'm past the point in my journey where I'm like apologizing or trying to tell everybody to be quiet all the time.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. But what was I saying? Pink door no, Pink Barn. What is her name? The
Mm.
pattern writer.
Hmm.
I want to say it's Pink Barn something. And now now I'm super embarrassed. But anyway, she has like hundreds of patterns that
Yeah.
she's like written and published and it's insane. And she has like 7 long arms. And she did all this while she was raising her kids. And I'm like, where do you find the time and energy to create that many quilts?
Yeah.
Like even with 7 long arms, like
Right.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
I think she hires a lot out though.
Okay.
Like I asked her one time, she's like, "Oh, I hire out like the writing process." I was like, and then she long arms. I'm like, but that's still a lot of piecing, madam. Like
Yeah.
I don't have the physical stamina to piece a quilt every 3 days. Like that is
No.
insane. But like also like yay for her success. That's beautiful that
Yeah.
she's able to do that.
Yeah.
And not like overthink herself out of succeeding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's admirable to see people who, yeah, have that capacity to do that and see their ideas to fruition and find success with it. Cause yeah, it can be really hard and overwhelming for a lot of people. And I'm one of those included. It's like, yes, I have a business. Yes, I make quilts. Yes, I do this, but it's like I also have a limit to where I'm like, if
Mm-hmm.
I sew one more stitch today, I'm going to break everything in my studio. And I don't want to do that. So I have to set limits for myself. But
Yeah. Is it
it's
physical or mental? Your capacity.
it's a little bit of both. I have some kind of health issues. My joints are kind of unwell. And
Gotcha.
it
Same.
can be really hard on me to be standing there all day or even just sitting and sewing all day. So
Mm-hmm.
it's, I like that I can kind of do both. I can sew at my machine while the long arm's running because it's all in the same space. And I can check on either, kind of mix it up. But it, and then there is like, I have only a certain amount of hours a day where I can like focus on that. And then it's like everything else takes over. I need to take care of my house. I need to run some errands. I need to cook dinner. I need to, and my husband's hours are a little bit unpredictable. Just he's a therapist. And so he's constantly having, client time changes and adding new or losing, or, not losing them, but,
Oh yeah.
rescheduling. And so there's only like a couple days a week where he's like, I know he's gone all day. So I try to get a lot of stuff done on those days just because it's like I have the house to myself. I can make a mess. I can like do what I need to do without disturbing him if he's in a session online or whatever. And um, but other than that, yeah, I just like, we also run a short-term rental out of our main bedroom downstairs. And so
Oh,
I'm
that's a
kind of
lot. Wait,
managing that.
do you have kids?
They're older. The
Gotcha.
youngest just turned 21 yesterday.
Oh, okay. So they're not like
No,
in your
they're gone.
house all
No,
day. Okay. I'm like,
no,
whoa, you have a rental
yeah,
and online businesses with kids. That's insane.
yeah. No, they, once they moved out, we really focused on kind of owning the business. And we did do the rental with our youngest still here, but he was in high school and was
Mm,
hardly ever home. So just like come
right.
home to sleep kind of thing, which
Mm-hmm.
is whatever. But um yeah, it was still fine, but because he was so independent. But yeah, no little kids
Yeah.
on this end. But yeah, I don't think with kids, like smaller kids, we could do what we do because it'd be
No,
too
yeah.
hard.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
my husband took my youngest is 8, my kids are 8, 10, and 12.
Okay.
Um, took him Christmas shopping like a few days before Christmas,
Hmm.
after Christmas. Anyway, sometime in the last 2 weeks, he took him out like for the entire day. And I got like
Yeah.
an 8-hour day with just the older two kids at home. And I was like, I got 5 weeks worth of stuff filmed in one day.
Wow.
And I was like, oh,
Oh.
this is how people manage to build businesses with kids. Their kids aren't home.
Hmm.
Like people send their kids to school. Oh, what do you mean? Like you get 6 to 7 hours of uninterrupted work every day. That's how you do this.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've been beating myself up for a while and I'm like not more
Oh.
successful than I am. And I'm like, other people have built like 8-figure businesses while raising kids. No, no, they haven't. Other people have built businesses before they had kids and then scaled, which is a
Hmm.
vastly different part of your life. You know, if
Yeah.
you're already making 6 to 7 figures before you have kids, it's easy to step back and scale at that point. It's easy to
Hmm.
tell your partner, like, you need to be the stay-at-home parent because I'm running a business, or to pay for childcare, or to send your kids to a good school.
Hmm.
I started mine with toddlers, you know,
Yeah.
and like we're
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere. We don't have family close by. They
Hmm.
don't go to school. I don't know if you like, we're in Oklahoma. I don't know if you followed the saga of like the Oklahoma school system issues. Like
Hmm.
sending our kids to school here is not an option, like
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Not right now. Maybe hopefully by the time everybody's in like high school,
Hmm.
they'll have their political shit straightened out. But I'm not
Yeah.
putting too much money on it. On it.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, I'm just like they're home like
Hmm.
always. They're like at least one or two of them. But yeah, like when you separate, like you take even one out of the equation, like everybody else is calm. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, it was like a vacation that day. I
Right.
got so much done. So yeah, but we're working on like building routines and structures
Hmm.
around, but we are not routine and structure people.
It's
So
hard.
we're like, okay, we're to the point of just having to be like, okay, here are the goals for tomorrow. Here are the
Hmm.
3 things that I have to do tomorrow. What 3 things do you have to do tomorrow? You know, and if that's all
Right.
we get done, then that's fine. Like, but we
Right.
can't structure our day and be like, this is how our day is going to look every single day. You know, and a lot of people do
Hmm.
that are homeschooled and run businesses and stuff. They're like, okay, from this hour to this hour, we do this thing. And then from here to here, we do this.
Right.
Does not work for us. Between his sleep and work schedule and my just absolute lack of focus on anything, there's there's no routine
Yeah.
whatsoever other than like breakfast happens at some point
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's, interesting to bring up because I think so many people are like, you can just do this, like, especially like, um, people who are urging you to buy their coaching program or urging you to just take the next step in your business, or it's just so easy, you do this. And it's like, do you have little kids at home all the time? No. And like you said, yours are older. And like I taught third grade, so I know that 8-year-old brain, and they start to get more independent, but they're still a little bit ping pong balls in the brain. And that's okay. You can give them a little more tasks here and there, and they grow up a lot in that year, but it's still like a lot. And
Yeah, well, he's in this space, so they're all wildly independent, and that's
mm,
just because they have been unschooled and we live on a farm, and so they've just kind of been they've always just kind of been feral.
mhm,
Um, but the little guy, yeah, my 8-year-old, like he needs a
mhm,
job,
mm,
like he needs a task that he can accomplish that is a real task. You know,
yeah,
like he actually needs to feel like he's contributing to be
yeah,
happy. But
mhm,
then he also needs oversight. Like,
yeah,
oh, I'm gonna go do this thing. He loves to like drive the tractor and like cut down trees and do farm things, but he
yeah.
also wants you to go like watch him
Watch him do it. Yeah.
or like be close by.
Hmm.
So that means like basically we have to structure our day around like, okay, who's got some space right now where we can do something with him.
Yeah.
But like the investment that you make on the front end of having independent kids,
Hmm.
it's a lot, but like it
Yeah.
pays off on the
Yeah.
others, you know, on the back end when they're a little bit older.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
and people think you're crazy. People people still think we're crazy. But then our
Yeah.
kids are fabulous human beings that you
Right.
really enjoy being around, like genuinely. So I'm like, yeah, so maybe we're not crazy.
Yeah. I think it is hard because you have to give so much, and you have to stop and not just do, the default of what your parents did for you if it's not in line with your values as a parent and as like a human. What kind of humans do you want to raise? And like obviously every person has their own individual personality, but they are shaped by their environment and who they're raised by. So I mean, we put a lot of effort into our kids too, and a lot of focus on their mental and emotional health. And like, it feels good knowing that they're out in the world because they're independent. They're one's moving to Europe, and the other one's already living there. So like, they're just
That
doing
is
their
really
own.
cool.
Yeah,
That is
and
so cool.
but it's like I never felt safe enough in my own self or like in my relationships with my family to be able to do that. And so the fact that they do feel that safety, like to be able to just like go explore and do what they want to do and like helps that they're boys. They're, you know,
Well, the older two are girls. So
okay.
they're, and I'm like, I came from a generation of girls. So
Okay.
there weren't, no, I wasn't around little boys ever
Okay.
until I had one. And I'm like, are you normal? The things that we're doing, are they normal? Um,
Little boys are something else.
yeah, that's what people keep saying. And I'm like, I think mine might be extra something else though.
I don't know. I
Oof.
mean, I had the two and they're 4 years apart. So it's like when one was
Mm.
kind of getting out of a zone of life, the other one was entering it. And it was just like, okay. And
Oh
they're
yeah.
very different humans, but at the same time, it was just still like, okay, here we go with this phase. Like,
Mm.
but it's a lot. And I just feel like and that was for me too. Like I have younger siblings, but I'm like my one brother is only a year younger than me, and my other one is 10 years younger than me. So I was just like in this weird space with them. And raising little boys is so different than being a sibling to,
No, for sure.
brothers.
Yeah,
And,
for sure.
and yeah, it's just, yeah. They
Yeah,
are, they are
it's a
different.
journey. It's like it's been magical. Like
Hmm.
honestly, I'm like, oh, like you have these moments where you're like, oh, this is the best thing ever.
Hmm.
But with like with girls, because
Hmm.
I am one, like I understand
Yeah.
like more of like I'm like, oh, this is how we need to handle this for you to be like a not messed up human being when you're older.
Right.
Like,
Right. Yeah.
and I didn't I just didn't have that.
Yeah.
But then I have so many moments with him where I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. This is
Hmm.
way cool.
Yeah.
Where you can see, and I think a lot of it's just my own insecurity of like not
Mm.
knowing if I'm doing okay because I've never been around little boys.
Right.
And then I grew up in like a really strict religious slash cult environment. So
Hmm.
like there was no interaction with little boys, like even from
Yeah.
a very young age. Like there was no, like you're just not allowed to talk to boys, don't look at boys, you know,
Hmm.
wear
Yeah.
shorts under your dresses type thing.
Hmm.
So like I have no frame of reference like
Yeah.
whatsoever. Um, but
Yeah.
here we go.
I know, similar. But I think that's like, I mean, it was nice for to have my husband because he was, he had his plan of like how he wanted to raise his boys and like what he wanted to impart to them and emotionally and, just
Mm-hmm.
man wise. But I think it was great because there was value on both of our experiences and both of us
Mm-hmm.
bringing what we had to the table and kind of helping. I'm outnumbered in the house when they're all here. So it's like, okay, but I'm going to tell you what I'm experiencing and how you need to be aware of this for the women in your life.
Right.
And
Yeah.
like, and seeing how they treat the females in their life because we did that and because the
Mm-hmm.
importance was placed on, my thoughts, what I wanted in our household. It's not just like, oh, she's just the mom and we're going to do whatever we want to do. It's like,
Oh, I love
no.
that. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was really different from how I grew up too. So it was just like, it's just interesting. It's interesting internally, like how I had to shift my thinking and things that would come up that would like make me stop and go, oh, why did I react that way? Or like, why did I want
Mm-hmm.
to say that thing to them when they did that thing? It's like, why am I so triggered right now? And especially our younger one, he used to trigger my anxiety so bad. And I would get so angry with him. And, I was in therapy and talking to my therapist about it. And she's like, he's triggering you. Like, he's triggering your anxiety. He's doing a lot of the things that you used to get super big in trouble for, you'd be
Mm-hmm.
punished for,
Yeah.
and it feels out of control for you. So you're spiraling, you're making it worse. And I was like, okay, like, oh, what am I supposed to say that? No, it's his fault. He's 11. It's like,
Right.
so
I have anxiety. You should know better.
yeah. I love
Yeah,
it.
I had the same. Like my husband's the best, like girl dad and boy dad. It's
Mm,
just incredible, like absolutely incredible to see that. And thank goodness because I don't like if I had to do the boy mom thing by myself, like I don't know that it would be healthy for any of us.
yeah.
Actually,
It's
I'm so glad he's able to like take
yeah.
the big energy and direct it
Hmm.
in a healthy way.
Yeah.
And then being like with everybody being in sports too, so he's like the coach, so
Hmm.
he took on coaching female athletes because the girls are older, so like they were the first to kind of get into sports.
Yeah.
So he just started coaching, like, and he's like a dedicated, I mean, he coaches boys, as he needs to, but he's like a dedicated girls coach.
Mm,
And then it's just seeing the dynamic of like how he approaches girls in sports, how he
hmm.
approaches the boys in sports, and like a lot of it's the same, but some things are different. And then same like just in life, like in our
Yeah.
space. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like shout out to the husbands that are doing the work,
Yeah. It's hot.
that are like deeply doing the work, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, truly. It's magical to watch it happen and to see the like relationship that, he has with his kids and that I have with them and us together. Like, it's just, it feels special and it feels important. And like, I think it's really hard to have kids. It's really hard to raise kids. It
Mm-hmm.
takes a lot of energy and time and focus. And a lot of people don't do the work that's needed to be a good, solid parent for their kids. And it's hard. It is hard because it's you have to kill your ego so many times over and over again.
Oh my gosh. That's not that. Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. That's so true. And
And
then picking apart what parts of your triggers are your own trauma versus
mhm,
what's your personality versus what's, like, is this just how I am? Is this something I'm masking? Is this something that needs to be dealt with?
right.
And that's what a lot of my 2025 was. You were talking about like
Hmm.
existential, and like that's
Yeah.
what a lot of it was.
Hmm.
Like I ghosted my business for months,
Yeah.
and did a lot of trauma work.
Hmm.
Um, and it was one of those things where it was just like, we're going to work on one trigger per week, because that's all you can do.
Yeah.
And it was like, and then the integration process. But coming out on the other side of that, holy smokes, like it did. And you're never fully healed from any of that.
Right.
But you are able to, like, once you've done the work, and I guess you're married to a therapist, you've probably heard this 1,000 times over. Like once you've done the work, like you're able to pick apart, like, am I reacting right now because I'm triggered, or am I acting right now because of a sensory issue, or am
Hmm.
I reacting right now because like I'm just a bitch,
Yeah.
like it's just
Right.
part of my personality right now.
Hmm.
Or like, am I tired? Am I hungry?
Right.
And
Right.
I kept striving. That was part of the existential part, was I kept striving for like healed.
Hmm.
And I think part of it was because like the people online that are like selling these coaching programs and stuff are selling like you can completely heal your everything. Um, and that's what, like, I got to a point where I was like, if you are not also running a business while raising kids, while doing this work, while homeschooling, I don't want to talk to you. I'm
Right.
not going to follow you because like your thing that you're selling is not attainable,
Hmm.
maybe for anybody, but especially not for me.
Right.
And then I'm, so like striving for that perfection. And then once I finally did find the right person that could help me, that had been through the same trauma, that is also unschooling while running a business. Um, and like I worked with her, I think it was like a 7-week program I did with her.
Hmm.
And then I came out on the other side of it and I was like, okay, I'm healed. But it wasn't like, it was just, now I'm just able to pick apart
Right.
when I'm reacting to something, like the why.
Hmm.
But then when you are able to just immediately identify the why, it kind of makes the trigger just less
Mhm.
powerful. So you're like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, this is just it's just a thing. It'll pass. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't have to become your whole personality anymore,
Right.
which drives me crazy when other people do it. And I didn't want to be that person. That
Mhm.
like your trauma becomes your whole personality.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're not doing that either.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets exhausting because it's like, okay, I understand that you were trauma, you had this event happen in your life. And like, I mean, I've got plenty of trauma too. So, like, that's why I've been in and out of therapy for the last 10 years. And that's why, I constantly work on it because I know you can start the healing process, but like those things still happened to you. There are still going to be things that come up that poke at those wounds. And it's just, like you said, focusing on them, learning the why helps you like soften the flinch that comes from it,
Mm-hmm.
soften the
Yeah, for sure.
the reaction, and you can respond instead. And but it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of mental energy, and it takes a lot of physical energy sometimes to calm your body down and to be present with yourself and understand that. And I think so many people, like good, millennial women and eldest daughters here, like
Yep,
start
same.
businesses because we want to feel some sense of control in our lives, and it was sold to us
Mm-hmm.
that this is all you had to do. And it's that accomplishment. Like, I heard somebody, I don't even know where I heard it, but basically like kind of boomer parents were raised for compliance,
Mm-hmm.
and
Well, and
therefore
they were
they
raised in a time where compliance got your needs met.
exactly.
That
And so
and that's
then
not the case now.
right, they tried to raise their Gen X children that way, and then
Mm-hmm.
Gen X went a different way and raised their millennials as like achievement and accomplishment is like that's the way to affection. And
Mm-hmm.
then millennials started parenting so completely opposite that their kids have no expectations. No, not everybody, obviously. Like, but there's just been this huge, and as a teacher, I saw it over and over again. Like these kids who have parents who don't hold them accountable for anything, who
Mm-hmm.
don't have any expectations for them. And it's like, you can have expectations. They're probably not going to be met if they're about other people. And as a parent, I think there's a certain level of expectation you can have for your children, but like it's just like such a hard swing in the opposite direction. So it's like, now what do we do? It's like, where do we go from here? And
Yeah.
I think that
I don't
achievement and accomplishment burns you out because you can't always be achieving. You can't always be leveling up and the next, what's my next achievement? What's my next achievement? And I think we're seeing it with the rise in autoimmune disorders, the rise in late, diagnosis for ADHD and neurodivergence in women. Like we've masked so hard and we've put ourselves on the back burner for so long that we hit perimenopause and it all comes spilling out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and so I've got I guess well I haven't really publicly shared this too much yet. I just applied to go back to finish my PhD
Oh,
in counseling.
okay.
And so the program that I was part of is now fully funded. And I
Okay.
was accepted once before it was funded, and I was like, I'm not doing this. I can't put my family in that kind of debt for something that's basically just like a personal thing.
Yeah.
Um, but I like now it is fully funded, and I was like, girl, I can close this business real quick and like go do like that's always been my life goal.
Yeah.
So like the therapy and the trauma healing and stuff have always been like my thing.
Yeah.
Um, but then I always wanted to see it through a perspective and through the lens of like the ancient modalities that are
Hmm.
not, like
Yeah.
before medicine was separated from spirituality or,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so I've done that coach that I worked with,
Hmm.
essentially did accelerated response therapy.
Okay.
Um, and it was like, whoa, this is it works and it works
Hmm.
fast and it works
Hmm.
efficiently and you only have to do it once.
Yeah.
And why is this not being done? Like in therapy? Like I was in
Right.
therapy for a long time. We never None of this was
Yeah.
ever a thing. Which I mean, I didn't bring up like all of my like deep stuff in therapy. It was always like asking her, like parenting questions because I didn't
Hmm.
have a good example of like what it is to be a good parent.
Yeah.
So it was like a very casual thing.
Hmm.
Um, Ironically, my therapist is on the committee for the program that I applied to. I was like, oh, that could get really awkward really fast. Um, so I did accelerated response therapy
Hmm.
with a coach, not with a therapist. But
Okay.
then after you get through with the therapy and you find your new healed self,
Hmm.
a lot of people drop off,
Yeah.
right? They're like, okay, the work is done. But then I see over and over, like having grown up with parents who were mentally ill, people get on medication or they do the therapy, they do the work, and they get better, but
Hmm.
then never change their habits.
Right.
So like those like responses or reactions that you used to have to triggers are now so ingrained. Um, and then you're like, oh, aren't you medicated now? And they're like, yeah. It's like, okay, but you're still doing the same thing.
Right.
Like if you're better, if you've had like an identity shift as like I am now a person who is healed, we
Hmm.
need to take it a step further, like as mental health professionals, to help people set goals from that new place.
Right.
Like so increasingly difficult goals, like
Yeah.
from the place of like considering yourself a person who is healed.
Hmm.
And that is like a two-part thing that needs to
Hmm.
happen. So anyway, that's the research proposal that I
Yeah.
submitted, was to like do that,
Yeah.
accelerated response therapy with goal therapy, like in
Hmm.
a clinical setting. And I think
Yeah.
they're funding it in adolescence,
Okay.
which I don't know. I don't have any expertise in adolescence, but it's neither here nor there. And I was
Hmm.
going somewhere with this. Anyway, I don't guess it matters that much. But yeah, setting goals, like
Yeah.
doing the new thing,
Yeah.
um, like on paper. Like I now see myself as a person who is capable of achieving these things that I couldn't before,
Hmm.
and taking those steps. And like that's where I am now. Like after the
Yeah.
existentialism of 2025,
Hmm.
is now like setting increasingly difficult goals, because I have no self trust
Yeah.
after like publicly burning my business down more than once.
Yeah.
I didn't trust myself to rebuild it at all.
Mm.
So that's
Yeah.
where we are now, is rebuilding
Mm.
from a healthy place.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, I think like I'm always of the mind that like if you're not growing and changing your business along with how you're growing and changing as a person, then like one or the other is going to die, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're either
Yeah.
going to become so unwell that you can't maintain your business, or your business is going to be so unwell that you just have to shut it down no matter what. So like what's going to give, find a balance in there and keep it moving. And that's why I backed away from taking on commissions from people. Like I won't make you a quilt. You cannot hire me. Like
Yeah.
it has killed my joy for quilting. It has killed my joy
Mm-hmm.
for the craft. It has killed my joy for looking at fabric or wanting to play with my fabric. Like I have so much that I can use. And every time I see something scrappy and fun, I'm like, oh, I've fabric for that. Like I could totally make that. And then I just look at it and go, ugh, because I burn myself out on a thing that I don't want to do anymore. And you kind of mentioned that, like, why are you pretending to like this thing that is sucking the life out of you, And
Yeah.
so this
Well, and
last,
not everybody has that. So
no.
like I've talked with people and worked with people who've been in the industry for 10, 15 years.
Hmm.
And they're like, it's just a job for me. Like I still
Yeah.
enjoy it. It's not my whole life. Or like,
Right.
I had one lady was like, "Oh, I'm a worker bee. I can just make quilts all day long. It doesn't bother
Yeah.
me." And I was like, "Oh," because I'm
Hmm.
thinking I'm broken, that like
Yeah.
I don't have the stamina to make a quilt every 3 days.
Right.
And then I talk to other people who do, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine." And I'm like, "Really?" Because I have the I have autoimmunity too. So like the
Hmm.
entire, if I sit at the sewing machine for more than a few minutes a day, the
Hmm.
entire backside of my body is on fire for like
Yeah.
days on end. Um, and so I was like, well, okay, clearly this isn't going to work for me.
Hmm.
And that's why I took everything, my entire pattern writing. I don't know if you saw Scrap Academy when I
Hmm.
launched it, my entire process, and put it into a book and a course
Hmm.
so that I could just exit. and not have to keep producing and producing and producing. And I have
Yeah.
something that's semi-passive.
Hmm.
And if you like, if you buy that, like that's all I'm ever going to produce now. I'm not writing patterns anymore.
Yeah.
Um, and that gave me a lot of freedom because now I don't
Yeah.
feel obligated to keep making quilts. When I do feel like it, fine. The content
Yeah.
goes into selling Scrap Academy, and when I don't feel like it, who cares? I do other
Right.
things now.
Yeah.
So it still gets to be a passion project that's still profitable, but there's no pressure.
Yeah.
And it's
No, I love that.
people who like preach like sell online courses for real though, sell online courses. Like it's life changing.
Yeah. I see that. And I think if you have something that, you can sell as an online course, you can teach it, you make the content, put it out there once,
Do
people
it.
can buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I I'm of the mind work smarter, not harder. Like if you can quote unquote automate things or make things semi-passive, like you're saying, it's not completely passive because you had to make the content and you still have to interact with the people who are purchasing your courses and all
Yeah.
that. But at the same time, you're not having to sit there and work out a quilt pattern and make samples and, you know, build your build everything around it that is stressing your body. Like it's already done and it's out there and people can consume it at their leisure and learn from you still. So I think when you can do that, it's incredible. And, creating creating a business that is just like it doesn't work without your physical labor, which is what I've done. um
Yeah.
is it's like, oh, I had to like really understand that like my business doesn't exist if I'm not in there working on it. And so it's been an interesting mind shift, but also, yeah, like getting right with my values, getting right with who I am as a person, what my needs are physically and emotionally and mentally. And like, my husband's nothing but supportive. If I'm like, I'm going to do this, he's like, okay, you know,
Yeah. Same.
or if I'm like struggling with something, he's like, well, what are some solutions? He's like there to help me think through things. He's never like, well, you did this, you have to finish it. It's like, he's like,
Oh
well,
my
do
gosh. Same.
you
And
want to
goodness
close
knows
it?
I've been a hot mess for the last year and a half. And he's just like, you got this. I
Yeah.
believe in you. You got this.
Yeah.
Everything. I'm
Yes.
like, oh, I'm going to do this. And he's like, love it. You're going to crush it. And then I'm like, I didn't crush it. You believed in me and I didn't crush it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but then the things that I do crush, he's like, see,
Told
you
you.
crushed that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's been a journey. But it makes me want to be better in my
Right.
business because he like so believes in me. Like
Hmm.
I want to be the person that he's believing in, not like this person who's crying in the corner because I fucked up again, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like he
know.
believes in me. I have to be successful. He believes in me. I can do this.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm just like, I want to be that person that like, yeah, he thinks I can be. And I know I can be that person. It's just like I also have a very hard time trusting myself. I have a very hard
Mm-hmm.
time believing in, you know, business principles, I guess, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, but I don't want to come across this way, or I don't want people to think this about me. And he's just like, but you run a business. So if you're doing business things as a business, like nobody's going to think that about you. And I'm like, oh yeah. It's just like
Right.
reframing those thoughts I have, those like self-doubt things, which it's like,
Well, we have that first of all as women anyway, because
mhm,
we're just like, especially if you grew up in like, like fundamentalism where you're raised to
yeah,
serve. You're
yeah,
raised to be
absolutely.
the background and the support for someone else.
Hmm.
So like breaking those habits and being like, no, I'm here to get mine.
Hmm.
That's hard. And
Yeah.
then also because we're in like a soft industry or like, like a
Hmm.
women's industry or a craft industry, um, the expectation is still there
Yeah.
that we are just to serve endlessly and not ask for
Hmm.
anything in return. Um, and we have to break that because the number of people putting out like insane amounts of free stuff and it's still a business model. Like you
Hmm.
can you can put out a lot of free and it's still a business model, but your money's going to come from somewhere else. So
Right.
people who are just content creators, like they're getting paid, affiliates or brand deals or sponsorships. But then it sets the expectation from their followers that like everybody should just be giving away everything for free.
Right.
And then when you're not, people are like, well, this should be free. I have had people like email me when I got my first pattern in the magazine.
Mhm.
Somebody emailed me and was like, can you send me 6 free copies of your magazine? I'm a new quilter. What?
What?
They're $13.99 at Barnes and Noble. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you want free shit, um, every fabric company out there has like a vast catalog of free patterns. You are more
Yeah.
than welcome to download and make every single one of them. I'm not going to Barnes and Noble and buying magazines to send you and your friends for free. I'm not.
Right.
Um,
You're like,
that's
I didn't
insane.
just like, they're not hot off the presses in my back room. Like, I didn't make the magazine. I
Right.
can't just give it to you. That's wild.
Right.
That's
And and I
wild.
can't send you the pattern anyway because like I don't own the rights to it at this point. Like
Right.
I can't distribute that pattern. Like
Yeah.
that's not mine to distribute yet. You know, like
Right.
you get the rights back at some point, but like
Right.
not today. It went on sale yesterday. Okay. Um,
Right.
but then the customer service when you have like the course,
hmm
when you have a higher dollar item that you
hmm
sell, the customer service feels different too.
hmm
I've had people like I still have my old like individual block patterns and stuff on my Etsy.
hmm
And doing customer service for something that somebody paid $2.80 for feels very different than doing customer service on something somebody paid $50 or $129 for.
Right.
So when like if someone pays $2.80 for your pattern and then they want to email you and you walk them through how to use their printer and their Etsy account, you're just like, really? Like I'm spending days on end
Right.
troubleshooting your technology
Right.
um
Like,
for $2.80
right.
versus the higher dollar things. I'm like,
hmm
yeah, like you spent $180 in my shop in this last year. So then like helping them with their tech support stuff doesn't feel like
Right.
such a drain because
Right.
I'm, you know, it like there's the exchange feels more equal, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
And that's another thing, again, as women in a soft industry, like we have
hmm
to get over the fear of that. And one of the biggest things that showed me like kind of on the other side of that, like where I was maybe being too soft,
hmm
um, was when I started pitching fabric collections.
hmm
I didn't realize I work for a fabric company. Like that's my
hmm
like day job is doing building like the lookbooks for a fabric
Oh, okay.
company. And the one I work for is owned by women. And
Okay.
I love them to death. I work for Cloud
Okay.
Nine Fabrics.
Yeah.
So love them. They're women owned. They decrease waste by like their marketing and their distribution and everything is super, super focused on decreasing waste.
Okay.
So on top of like being organic, so like
Yeah.
their dedication to the environment and to ethical business practices is top down, like every step of the business. Um, there's no unpaid labor. They don't do ambassadorships. They don't do asking for free patterns from people. Um,
Yeah.
and so I was like, whoa, this is amazing. But then I start pitching my collection that I was building to different companies. And I didn't pitch it to the company that I work for, which is kind of ridiculous. I don't know. I think there was like some imposter syndrome there because we
Mm.
work with such amazing artists. I was like, my art is not that good.
Yeah.
Like I can't stand up to like these other collections that I see these just incredible, incredible collections every day. And I'm like, I'm not that good.
Mm.
So anyways, but then I start pitching it to other companies and I'm meeting with the owners of these companies and they're all like men in suits.
hmm
And I'm like, they have no problem saying no. They have
Right.
no problem making demands. They have
hmm
no problem putting their business first and their profit first.
hmm
Um, and while I'm not willing to, there are some fabric companies out there that I won't do business with at all because I feel like
Sure.
they're borderline predatory
Mm.
with how much free labor they request from people.
hmm
But the fact that these business owners are people who are not in the craft industry, they're men
Right.
with businesses. And I'm like, it's okay for me to put my profit first
hmm
and my feelings second.
Right.
It's okay. And when that shifted, I was like, okay, that's when I was like, I need to move into courses. I need to move into web design.
hmm
Um, because it feels heavy doing a lot of work for a tiny bit of money.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, because like you said, it's a soft industry and oh, it's women's work. People think that it's fine for me to like quote them and then for them to push back and be like, well, I'm not paying that much. Okay, well, then you can't afford me. Like, go find it somewhere
Yeah.
else. But then it sucks because there are people who will turn around and say yes to something less. But it's like, I'm
Okay.
really not being that unreasonable. And then for somebody to be like, well, yeah, I'll do that for $20 instead of $50. It's like,
Okay. Then do it for
why?
$20.
Do it for $20, but also then people feel justified in undervaluing
Like the whole industry.
all of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like where, uh, because it's creative, right? It's like hard to put a standard monetary value on it because a lot of times it's a creative outlet. It's not a business. It's not meant for, a monetary value. But those of us that have a business avenue in it, it's like, okay, but also you have to respect that I'm running a business. I'm not doing this for free. I'm not a
Yeah.
charity case. Like if I did everything for free, I couldn't afford the machine I have. I couldn't afford the supplies that I offer. I couldn't afford, you know, and it's just crazy to me. And then how it just reminds me because I'm like, I'm a girl's girl. So like when people are like, I
Mm-hmm.
charge this, I'm like, hell yeah, it's not in my budget, but I'm going to support you any way I can. So then when other women are like the ones nitpicking, I'm like, who?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, right, I forget about internalized misogyny. I forget about how brainwashed some women are to believe that like undervaluing what other women are doing is okay. And it's just such an interesting space to be in, like overall, because it definitely has been so surprising in some ways. It is in terms of like, yeah, bumping up against certain things that I was like, oh, I forget that people think this way because I like pulled out so hard from, my conservative religious upbringing and like that fundamentalist conservative, like women don't make money. Like you
Like you're
have,
here to be the background.
yeah, you have no
So
value and you have no monetary needs. So,
a few years ago, I got some work basket um little magazines. Do you know what those are? Like
mm-mm.
the from like the 50s and 60s, like
Oh,
the women's
oh, oh,
they had
oh,
like little sewing patterns. It was like a little quarterly,
yeah.
like a the size of a quilt pattern, like 20
Hmm.
page little thing that they sent out.
Yeah, yeah.
And those had ads in them for like kits to make like these toilet paper cover baby dolls or whatever
Oh, yeah, yeah.
craft was going on back then. They're like, buy these kits, like 12 kits for $2 or something,
Right.
and make them and sell them to all your friends to supplement your husband's income or to make yourself some spending money. And I'm
Ah,
like, women monetizing their hobbies as a side hustle for like a little bit of spending money is as old as time.
mm-hmm.
And like nothing has changed. And
No.
so, but you got to think these were from like the 50s.
Right.
So the people who were adult women during that time, their children are now our customers.
Right.
So that is the message like that they grew up under.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that explains so much though. You know,
Yeah,
that
it really
explains so
does.
much. And now like online business has changed
Hmm.
like everything for us. And I am the type person where I'm like, girl, if you need money, like start a business. I'm here. I'll support. I'll cheer you on.
Yeah.
Um, Start a YouTube channel. Like
Hmm.
I have a friend who's like consistently just like, my husband's the worst. And I'm like, girl, start a business and leave him.
Yeah,
I said it.
truly.
I said it. Um, like it's not
Yeah.
hard now. You can start a
No.
business for $30 a month.
Right.
You know, it
Yeah.
costs very, very little. And it's easier than ever. But then we're still like, especially in an industry that, like my average customer, I think is 65.
Hmm.
Like the mindset is still, like what they were raised in.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm like, it's okay. Like
Yeah.
it is okay. When you have a product that costs more, again, like it kind of filters out, um, some of those issues of people like just being ready to undervalue
Yeah.
whatever it is you're selling. And that, like, oh my gosh, it is so much lighter. My business is so much lighter
Hmm.
by selling things that cost more,
Yeah.
which you think it would be the opposite, but it's not.
Right. I think it's I think it's interesting because I think when people pay more for something, they kind of feel like I'm making an investment. They are more
Hmm.
prepared to make that purchase, whereas smaller ticket items are kind of feel a little more impulsive. It's like
Hmm.
almost comes with like, well, you owe me this because I paid for this. It's like, I mean, yeah, but I don't know. It is weird. It's definitely weird. I've
Hmm.
noticed that too. Like if something doesn't cost as much, then all of a sudden there's like 1,000 opinions. Whereas if it was a bigger project, a king size quilt kind of situation, like then it's like whatever you think, you're the professional,
Hmm.
deferring to my expertise and my level of understanding versus being like, well, you should just be able to XYZ. It's like, I'm telling you, that is not how my machine works. Or like, I can't
Yeah.
just give away this stuff because my business purchased it and now it's my job to sell it for a profit. So like, who who's going to benefit if you get something for free and I have to pay? It's not benefiting me, so I'm not going to do it. There's certain things like that are okay and could find it to maybe do a little giveaway or to maybe like gift or do some kind of charity work or whatever. But it's just interesting how, yeah, like smaller purchases seem to like give people the audacity to feel like they can ask for you to bend over backwards versus like it feels more important and serious to make a
Yeah.
larger purchase. So
For sure. And it's different selling like in the service industry, like a
mhm,
B2B service industry.
mhm,
Like that is a night and day. Like
mm.
absolute night and day. My cat, your tail, honey, is in my um yeah. Like I when I've done like the web design builds,
Yeah,
those customers are like people that are either brand new to the industry or they've been in it so long, like they need a like a full like facelift mommy makeover.
yeah,
And they're just like, here's everything, charge me whatever. Can't wait to see when it's done.
yeah.
And it's like it's just vastly it's different. And I'm not gonna say it's better. Um, I do really enjoy the customer interactions with
Hmm.
like the quilting course. And that's part of the reason I haven't like fully pivoted because I really do enjoy like the creative side of it and I don't want to just
Hmm.
throw that away.
Hmm.
It's getting to the point physically where I'm going to have to because like I just can't keep sewing. Like my body won't do it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's very different. And I love how it trickles down to my daughter has both of my daughters have like creative very creative things that they do. But
Hmm.
my oldest is she has a jewelry business and she makes jewelry and sells it at her like sporting events.
Hmm.
And a lot of kids do. And a lot of them are selling like this little rubber band bracelets and they sell them for
Yeah.
like $1.
Hmm.
She wholesales and then builds jewelry that looks like fine art.
Yeah.
And it's just incredible. It's very high end. And she hustles it. She goes and talks to every single woman in that stadium and she's like, here's what I'm selling. Here's how much it costs. I have, and they're like, oh, I don't have cash. She's like, I have Cash App and Venmo. And then people are like, when people push back on her prices, and she pays herself a fair wage for what she
Hmm.
makes.
Good.
Um, and she's 12. She makes more money than I do most of the time. It's like absolutely insane to watch. Um, and she was like, Mom, people are pushing back on my prices. And I was like, okay,
Good.
there's two things. One, you can make smaller items that cost less.
Hmm.
But just because the I want to say ingredients, just because the cost of materials is less, doesn't mean it costs less if it takes you more time. So,
Right.
like if you do something that takes you more time, you don't get to sell it for less money. And
Hmm.
two, just because someone else can't afford it doesn't mean it's overpriced.
Right.
Just a general rule. I like to go to fine art shows. Just because I can't afford a $12,000 painting doesn't mean it's overpriced. That means I
Right.
don't have $12,000. That's
Right.
that's just how the creator economy, and I love that. Like it's
Yeah.
changing.
Yeah.
It's publicly changing, and I'm just like so here for it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love that your daughter is just like, here's my stuff, buy it or not. Like,
Hmm.
and it's good
Yeah.
that she pays herself because I think that's like where a lot of like, you know, women run businesses, like if you work for yourself, you can run into trouble. Is like if you keep giving so much stuff away, like what is the point of having a business if you can't afford to pay yourself? And like I say that as like I'm barely able to pay myself,
Right.
but it
Have you ever
also
heard of profit first accounting?
I think I've heard of it, but I haven't done it.
It's like that changed everything. I found an online bank. It's basically where like every dollar that goes into your bank account kind of goes into like an inbox, and
Uh-huh.
then it gets split up according to percentages. So like
Oh,
so basically you pay yourself first.
okay.
Um Not first. Like everything gets just split up.
Right.
So like certain percentage goes into tax, a certain percentage goes into your operating expenses, a certain percentage goes into a savings.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably, taxes and interest go into a savings account with interest
Mm-hmm.
because why not?
Right.
And then you pay yourself. And like doing that changed everything because I was like, man, I'm like working so
Mm-hmm.
hard, but like at the end of the month, I don't have any money left. And I feel like I'm
Mm-hmm.
just working my ass off basically for fabric.
Yeah.
Fabric don't pay my bills. Fabric
No.
doesn't change my tire or buy me fancy coffee.
Right.
So like uh, getting a profit first at bank that like does it for me so I don't have to think about it
Yeah.
changed everything. So, and that's the principles that I gave my kids when they started doing, things for money was like, 50% of everything you make is yours to spend.
Mm-hmm.
I live by the same rule. 50% of everything I make goes into my personal checking account. It's mine to spend.
Yeah.
So you want more money, you need to make more money,
Right.
you know? And
Yeah.
you don't get to dip out of what are you going to do? Dip out of your taxes? No, you're not. What do you dip out? Are you going to dip out of your operating expenses? No, because then you won't have a business next month.
Right.
Um, if your operating expenses go over, you don't get to take it out of your personal money. It forces you to operate within the parameters of how much money you're making now.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also gives you a structure for healthy growth.
Yeah.
Um, and that has been, ooh, I started that 2 years ago. It was life changing,
Okay.
like all the way off the hamster wheel financially.
Okay. That's good to know. Yeah. I'll definitely have to look
Crazy.
into that because it is like, you know, it bookkeeping and tracking all your expenses, all that stuff. Like I don't have a lot, but it's
Mm-hmm.
enough that it's annoying. And especially when, some of it is, labor and some of it is product. It's like, ugh, it's annoying to try to like parse it all out and make sure that everything is going to the right places. And so it can be tricky. And
Yeah,
I think that is a
for
thing
sure.
that trips a lot of people up is like,
Especially since you're in a service industry. So do you have
yeah.
like a set, like you charge like by the inch, right?
Hmm.
So you're not like paying yourself a wage, you're paying per like how big the thing is. But some things you
Right.
do are going to take more time and effort than others.
Hmm. If
Yeah.
it's just a basic edge to edge, um, then yeah, it has per square inch price. And then if it's dense, it's a little more just because it takes more time and more thread. And then if I do any sort of custom work, then that is an hourly wage because that takes so much more time and so much more effort from me. I have to be on top of the quilt the whole time. And that takes a physical toll. So I can only do a couple hours at a time on quilts. So
Sure.
I only take maybe one or two custom jobs a year because of that.
Yeah, I
And
can imagine.
I did actually a lot last this in 2025 and I suffered for it. So
Sure.
um I promised myself that this year I will only take on two and I already have one. So I've got
Uh,
one spot available and it's got to be the right project, It's like
mhm.
it's not every custom project is for me to touch because it might not be the vibes aren't right, and I am
Mhm.
very much like I need to see it, I need to touch it, I need to talk to the person, I need them to understand who I am and how I work and that it's not going to be done in a week. Like I need time. And what you're getting is my original art, my original design. and you have to be okay with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like you.
Yeah.
Custom work has to be like you really have to give me a like a set of parameters and a blank canvas.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm the same way too, though, now when I buy things from artists or artisans of any sort, I'm like, I like your vibe. Make whatever's gonna light you up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
Truly.
get your best work that way. I think
Right.
you get your most unique pieces that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, when people started
Absolutely.
getting picky, I was like, I think I'm out.
Hmm.
That's how I
Right.
started though. That's how I got the capital for the first like couple years of my business expenses was commission work, but
Yeah.
not anymore.
Yeah. It's definitely right. Like it worked and it was great when it was, me and my mom, but now it's just
Hmm.
me. So it's like I
Yeah.
have to, yeah, something has to give. And I love long arming. I will long arm as many quilts a day as I can because I freaking love it. It's my one of my most favorite parts of the quilting process to just like bring more personality to a quilt. And like when people trust me to do what I do to bring their quilt to life, I'm like, hell yeah, like get
Feels
really
good.
excited about
Feels
it.
good to be the expert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've put a shit ton of hours into it and a ton of time and learning and trial and error. And so that again is part of the reason why I'm like, if it's the right custom job, they're going to let me do my job.
Hmm.
And if they want something very specific, then okay, then get go learn how to do it yourself. Cause like I need the space to do what feels right for me. And um thankfully like some of the custom jobs I took in 25 were very collaborative and it was very like, here's kind of what I'm seeing, but what do you think? And what do you think is going to look best? And how would you approach this? And so that felt good. Some of it was just
Yeah.
like not
Gives you
that way.
a lot more energy to
Mm.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Cause it's fun and I'm excited and I want to see it come to fruition versus feeling like stuck. Like I have to complete this person's vision. And if it's not exactly perfect, like they're not going to like it. It just is an interesting spot to be in for work, creative labor for hire,
Yep.
but also there has to be certain boundaries.
Yep.
So,
Well, I know it's like this is an odd story to bring in after we talked about like religious trauma. But there were women. So I'm like fallen off a rabbit hole for a couple years of like reading books that are retellings of like the women of the Bible and their stories.
oh, okay.
Like minus the misogyny.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
there were which one was it? Maybe it was Red Tent.
Mm,
But it was one of the books that I read, and like the main character was one of the women in the Bible who made things,
mm-hmm.
textiles and stuff, and ended up like elevating her family's status because like her work was that good. She ended up being like the king's clothing, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Um, and I'm like, you know what? She got there because of a dedication to excellence.
Right.
She got there because her vision and her vibe and her integrity as a maker were not up for negotiation.
Mm-hmm.
Her whole family and her
Yeah.
whole lineage was elevated
Right.
because she set boundaries about like I will not make something less than this quality.
Right.
Um that like hit me hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang,
Yeah. No, and
there
that, I
goes
mean, it's, I think that's just it is like, it's so easy for people to ask women to sell themselves short because it's just been done over and over again. And
mm-hmm,
we, the way that history is written, the way that the Bible is written, it makes it seem like women just freely gave these things when, as if it wasn't a total pain and labor and
mm-hmm. Now it's
huge,
my honor to sacrifice for you. No.
no, like, are you fucking kidding me? No, like, it takes so much time and effort and yeah, that commitment to excellence and that one I'm willing to work with you if you're willing to meet me where I'm at and willing to like honor my expertise and like I'm not just saying me personally but like women as a whole like
Mm-hmm. Just artisans in general.
artisans in
Yeah.
general it's like And I know men get it too on their, handcrafted things like, well, I could make that myself. They're like, be my fucking guest.
Then do
And
it.
and that's yeah, it's like, okay, go for it. People come to craft shows like, well, I can make that myself. Be my guest. I'd love to see you do it. Join us. It's a great community of crafters. It's like you can be mad or you can just be like, heck yeah, we'd love to have one more quilter in our midst, or oh, we'd love to have one more crocheter in our midst. It's like it kind of
Yeah.
throws people because they're like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I want you to actually make one so you can see why I charge this much. And then you'll go, oh.
Right. And but then people in the industry who like literally that's how the industry stays alive is people looking at something going, I can do that.
Mhm.
Like, and then people sell fabric and fabric shops stay in business and fabric companies stay in business. And you and I still have jobs because
Yeah.
people are like, I could make that myself. Good.
All
I
right.
hope you do.
Sweet. Awesome.
I hope you
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
Like, then you're not my customer, are you? That's okay.
Yeah.
Because you're someone else's customer in the industry that supports me. So
Right.
great.
100%. Yeah.
I love that. I'm a crocheter, so I don't crochet like a lot, or like commercially. But I
Yeah.
think about that when I go like buy patterns off Etsy. I'm like, I'm not designing this shit for myself.
No.
Like this is my moment to like sit down and someone else tell me what the hell to do because I don't want to design things.
Yeah.
And I'm
Oh, I'm
like,
the same way.
oh, right. People come to me for that in the quilting industry.
Hmm.
I'm like, that's okay.
Yeah. Right.
It's
It's
okay
like
that
there's a spot for all of us to do something, right? Like
yeah.
if you have the willingness and you have the ability and you want to build a business off of that pillar, that piece of what holds up the quilting industry, then like awesome, do it, because
Yeah.
for every one of you, there's one of me. Like I don't want to design patterns, so I make other people's patterns. I love to long arm, so I'm going to do that, and that's where my creativity is going to shine. And it- it's like some people love to write patterns, some people love to coach, some people love to teach. It's like there's an avenue for all of us to do something that we love within it, and the more the merrier, the more we can share, the
Yeah.
more we can. Because if you think about like how many entrepreneurs there are in the quilting industry and how many, you think, oh, there's so many people, but then there's still so many that you haven't even heard of. It's like,
Hmm.
and if they're successful, which some of them are, I find new people all the time. And I'm like, whoa, they have a huge following. They've got all these
Like, where
patterns. They've
did
got
you come from?
exactly. And it's like,
I still do that too. Every day I'm like, huh?
yeah,
How have I never heard of you? I've been in this industry for a long time.
exactly. Yeah. So it's like, that's exciting to me because it's like there are just so many ways there are so many ways to find success and do what works for you. And I think this idea that your business has to look a certain way is kind of misleading because
Hmm.
it can look like my business, nothing is that organized. Like I said, I was telling you, like I'm kind of a squirrel. I'm constantly bouncing between tasks. I got a lot of stuff to do, but I'm not going to have an aesthetic space ever. And that's okay with me. As long as it functions for what I need it to function for, that's all that matters to me. If you can't stand looking at it when I make posts, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to change it for you. Like my space has to work for me. My business
Right.
has to
Yeah.
work for me. And if it doesn't, then that's where the existential crisis comes in. Like,
Sorry about you.
yeah, like that's when I had to get real about making quilts for other people or had to get real about like what my values are because I think that can be a hard spot too. And I don't know if you find this with people that you coach, but like if somebody doesn't really have a clear vision of what their values are, it can be really hard to work with them on something as big as like redesigning their business website or
So most people who invest in web design and coaching are at the point where they do have that clarity.
okay, good.
If you don't have that clarity, you're not putting that kind of money into your business.
Hmm.
You like if you're still fucking around and finding
Yeah,
out, you're buying the $27 courses. You're not
sure.
buying the coaching packages or the custom web builds.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, like those people do have absolute clarity on this is what I do, this is who I
Hmm.
am. Um, but you would be very surprised the number of people who have like a perfect feed, a beautiful website, huge following. There are people that I've worked with that have, oof, hundreds of thousands of followers that are
Mm-hmm.
making $0
Oh.
because they don't have a business.
Oh.
They have a following. They have a beautiful website. There are people with that like their content, their website hasn't been updated since 2010. Their content just kind of looks like they just filmed it in their corner of their bedroom because they did. They're making multiple six figures per launch.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what do you need me for?
Right.
And it's just like little, it's usually, and those people are like, just take my money. I just need a few tweaks to my website. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
just need like my funnel updated, or I need like this sales page to link to this thing a little more seamlessly, or like something simple. They're like, I know what I'm doing. I've got it. And I'm like, you're making so flippin' much money. And like, you have like
Right.
no followers and your aesthetic is kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I started this. I'm like an aesthetic girly. Like, I like an aesthetic. I keep my studio very clean, and aesthetic because that's what I like.
Right.
I can't function in a space that feels like messy or I'm not a creative chaos girl. Like, it
Mm.
has to be tidy. That
Mm-hmm.
being said, when I look at other people's spaces and they are a mess, I'm envious. If you can work in a space that's not tidy and neat and you can still function, I'm like, girl, how do you do it? I wish I could not like be the way I am.
Yeah.
So like just think about that. Like, for every
Mm-hmm.
person out there that you're like, nobody wants to look at my mess, like there's 10 people looking at your mess going, damn, I wish I could just like not be so crazy about my own mess. So like other people's messes don't bother me at all. Um,
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
like that was a huge kick in the pants when I got started because I aspired to be like the people who had like the curated feed and the beautiful space,
mm-hmm.
until I started seeing behind the scenes and I'm like, oh, you put a lot of time and effort into making no money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I
Yikes.
think that's
Yikes.
like a tricky balance too, because yeah, it's like they can make it seem like that, but if they're not making any money, it's like, what are you doing that for? Like,
Mm-hmm.
who, great, you have a huge following, but like, what is it gaining you? And not everything is money, but at the same time, everything is money. And
Right.
my time
Well,
is valuable.
I have a phrase that I kind of coined. I'm sure somebody said it somewhere and I picked it up and I don't remember who, so I'm just going to claim it for now.
Hmm.
Like, some people do this because they have a visibility kink. They
Mm.
just like being seen.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay. And if that's
Yeah,
all it is, I love that for you. And
sure.
if you're okay with that and you're not trying to monetize it and you just love the visibility of people like liking what you do,
Hmm.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Like, how much freedom has to go into that? That you go to your 9 to 5 and then you come home and do whatever the hell you want online and you don't have to make money on it?
Hmm.
Girl, get you some. I love that.
Yeah, for
Like, but
sure.
don't complain about it later that like I have to work 3 jobs to support this hobby. Well, you have a following of 200,000 people. I don't want to hear it.
Right.
You know,
Like you could
like
monetize that if you wanted to.
you could monetize that just a little bit if it so behooved you.
Yeah,
Um, or people that are
truly.
on a high horse, like, I just do it for the community. And like, I don't care
Mhm.
about the money. I'm like, great, but you're devaluing the entire industry for the rest of us.
Exactly.
So please go away. Um,
Yeah, either
like
go away or
that's not,
monetize because
yeah.
it's
Or
it makes it hard on the rest of us who are using
yeah.
not using it, but I mean, yeah, I guess like, but are monetizing with it. Like I have a business, I need to make money. Like I don't have a day job. I mean, this is my day job, It's like I'm
Sure.
not
Yeah.
working at an office and then coming home with all this creative energy and like tons of stuff to do because I'm in it all day long. Like I take my way to take breaks is to do other things. It's like when people are
Mm-hmm.
using crafting as their escape, it's like no, but I that's my 9 to 5. So like
Yeah.
it's
Well,
just a
and
different
so
focus too.
like it being creative like
Hmm.
activates the right side of your brain, which is, the connective side and the um like the oh, what's the hormone? The connection,
Hmm.
not pitocin, the pitocin, listen to me. My midwife is coming out. Um the connection side of your brain. But
Hmm.
then when you start monetizing your creativity, it activates the analytical side of your brain. So you no
Hmm.
longer get that like sense of calm, that sense of connectedness that you used to get from it. It's not meditative anymore.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us struggle with that, like myself included. I'm like, this is now purely analytical. Like,
Hmm.
and I'm working on a project right now that I have not showed online that I'm learning new techniques from someone else.
Mm.
just for the sake of having something that's like puts me back in that space, like
Yeah.
that creativity connected space.
Yeah.
But then it's hard because I'm like, oh, I'll work on that later. Right now, I need to work on things for money.
Yeah.
Like I have to work on my business. Like this other thing needs to wait because, I need to do
Hmm.
business creativity. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard to stay in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Truly is. It's like I feel guilty if I'm like sitting down to, I've literally been crocheting a sweater for like 2.5 years because I
Oh my goodness.
sit down to work on it and I'm like, I should be doing something else, or like I should be, working in my website, or I should be, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
The
like,
shoulds,
no,
woulds,
I
and coulds
already
will kill
did
you.
that. Yeah, exactly. It's like I
No.
already did that for 10 hours today. Like I need to stop. But then
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's hard, but that's crazy to think about because yeah, it's like now anytime I'm creating, I'm like, ooh, is this something I could or would want to, add to the business? And then it's like, girl, calm down. No,
Uh,
like
no.
stop,
Nope.
stop it.
Yeah, but after you do that and you spiral and you do that rabbit hole 2 or 3
Hmm.
times, you realize that most things are actually not worth the effort.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, and then you start thinking about all the things I would have to do to monetize this new thing that I'm doing, and you're like,
Hmm.
ugh, never mind.
Yeah.
That just seems like more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like happy that I got there though, because it's like, oh, I'm going to make this thing and then I'll put it on the website and I'll just sell it. And it's like, for how many things are still sitting around that didn't sell because nobody cared? It was like, why did I do that? Why did I spend that
Hmm.
money? Why did I put all that effort into something that is literally just sitting in my studio, not selling? Like it, no, I'm like, I'm just sticking with what I've got. Like what I'm doing is working, and I just need to focus on that and growing that. It's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy. But
I get new
anyway.
ideas all the time. So like the mental like filter for that is
Hmm.
like I have like a launch worksheet that I
Hmm.
made like in my very first launch ever, and it still mostly works. Like some things have changed,
Hmm.
obviously, as algorithms have changed, but like with new ideas, I'm like, okay, we have a new idea. We think we kind of want to make this our whole new personality and add it to the business.
Hmm.
Let's start filling out the launch sheet. And I get like a third of the way down, and I'm like, never fucking mind.
You're like, delete all of it.
If I have to write email sequences for this, I will chew my own thumbs off because, and then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, nope, that cured me of thinking we're gonna,
Yeah.
add this to the business. So that like, oof,
Yeah. No, that's
don't do
so
that
smart
anymore.
though. Like check yourself before you wreck yourself, kind of like
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's waste 20 minutes on realizing this is a bad idea rather than 20 days on,
trying to,
and untold amounts of time and money
yeah.
on something that we're not feeling. And
Yeah.
sometimes I do still launch things and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. And then I'm just like, oh, what was I thinking?
Yeah. Yeah. Truly. It's like, oh.
Whoops.
So you're not as excited about it as I was? Okay, great. I guess I'm gonna remove that and pretend it never happened.
Yeah, it happens. It
Yeah.
happens. I did a web design course
Hmm.
last year, a Squarespace design course.
Hmm.
And then I was like, I was moving everything. I'm currently on Wix. I was like, I'm gonna
Me
move
too.
everything over to Squarespace because it's like an all-in-one and it's
Hmm.
easy to teach.
Mm.
Like when you teach people to use Squarespace, like once you've gotten the fundamentals, you can't fuck it up. Like the way
Okay.
their interface works and like their design stuff
Mm.
works, you cannot build a bad website on Squarespace, like where things
Oh.
break on different screen sizes. It's impossible to mess it up. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like teach people how to build Squarespace websites because templates don't work.
Mm.
People buy templates all day long and
Hmm.
then they don't fit their business.
Hmm.
So I'm just gonna teach people like the strategy behind building a website that fits your business structure and that you can
Yeah.
grow with. And I launched this course. I think I sold like two because by the time I got done building it, I was like, this is actually not that great. Like, I don't even know that I like Squarespace that much. Um, Now I have like, I'm a little more pragmatic about it. I'm like, Squarespace isn't for me, but
Hmm.
it is perfect for beginners who are
Mm.
not web designers. So I'm
Gotcha.
like I can market it now, like more ethically, but I had to like get through my own shit over that. I'm like, I'm selling people something that doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. It works for the
Right.
people who bought it. It works
Yeah.
beautifully for people who want to DIY their website, and not pay me thousands of dollars. Like,
Right.
great, love that for them. Um, but yeah, that was one of those things where I like built it without like testing the market for it first.
Mm.
Um, and then I was just I did not do the launch for it.
Mm,
It was a lot. It was a lot. And I
yeah.
was like, oh, we're just gonna hide this and pretend it didn't happen.
Is it still available though for people if they want it?
Yeah, yeah. It's in
Okay.
my bio on Instagram.
Okay.
And it's really good. Like it's really, really good.
Yeah.
I just had to have like I had to get through some feelings about it before I
Sure.
could like put it up for sale. So
Yeah.
if you buy that, please know that my personal website is not built on Squarespace because I'm a professional. I build my things elsewhere. And if you don't want to
Yeah.
hire a professional, build your own shit on Squarespace. It's super easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. At least I run mine on Wix too. So um
Yeah,
yeah, it's yeah, works for me. I
it's
don't
a
know.
lot more involved. It's fun.
It is.
It's fun.
It is fun.
My client builds for Wix are like my absolute favorites.
Yeah. I liked it. Well, I got my master's in educational technology, which doesn't seem
Oh, cool.
like it would mesh, but there was a lot of web design in there. Like
Mm-hmm.
initial my some of my first classes were like web design classes and um like using stuff platforms kind of like Wix in certain classes for certain educational things. And I was like, "Ugh, I could do this." And so I
Oh,
just
yeah.
like went crazy and it's not it probably could be better, but it works. It works just fine. So
Yeah.
it's
Again, the people that I've worked with behind the scenes that are making multiple six figures, they haven't updated their websites or DIY like WordPress,
mm,
OG, like
yeah,
from the very beginning of the internet websites, and they're like,
it
why
works.
fix it? It's not broke. I'm like, oh,
Right.
okay, nope, felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. It's fun. But yeah,
I
I
love
think yeah, if
that.
you're starting out and I've heard that Squarespace is a really great beginner spot, that it is pretty
Mm-hmm.
foolproof once you kind of know
Mm-hmm.
the basic functions. And so I mean, it's a great place for people to start to,
Yeah.
hey, if you want to
Well,
build that
there's
business, here's a way to get yourself a website and get going, you know?
yeah, it's like 25 bucks a month. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
and then you can do your link and bio pages through them. You can sell stuff through them. You can do your email marketing through
Hmm.
like their email marketing is the only integrated email marketing that I would ever use on any like platform.
Mm.
Except for Kajabi, but like nobody's paying for Kajabi.
No.
Um, but like 25 bucks a month, your first like 500 email subscribers are free. If like for a long armor, 500 email subscribers, like that's
It's a
pretty good
lot.
business.
Yeah.
Like for free, you know, like I don't even have to
Hmm.
pay for this. Yeah, it's great. I've built a website for a long armor and it was like, listen, you don't need that much.
Hmm.
You do not need that much. We need to get your SEO set up for like your location and that's
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
So that was so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um oh.
Yeah. That's awesome. And then, so you have your Scrap Academy that's on there as well. Is that available as
Mhm.
well? Okay.
Yep.
So people
Yeah.
can buy that course. They can buy
Yep.
the Squarespace course.
And then
Um,
I have a download my like the other thing if you I don't know if you're looking at my oh my gosh my cat is like her tail is kicking the microphone and it's clunky. So that the other thing that I do like my superpower is helping people niche down so that they can do their SEO to get found in
mm,
Google.
mhm,
So I've helped people like scale from 6 to 7 figures like very quickly by
mm.
dialing in their SEO.
Okay.
And I've helped people like get ranked top of Google in like 5 blog posts with their
Oh, wow.
SEO. And like that is my superpower is SEO. And I took everything that I learned from doing it one on one and put it in a $27 download. Like
Okay.
walks you through step by step everything I do with private coaching clients. Um, because like it's not that hard.
Yeah.
And like once you see it like on a piece of paper, you're like, oh, that's it.
Hmm.
And then people can get off the like hamster wheel
Yeah.
of blog posting incessantly and like 97% of your blog posts don't accomplish anything.
Right.
Um, so yeah, that's
Yeah.
super and that's coming back too because AI is now advanced SEO. So
Hmm.
yeah, you need to be doing something for for that.
Yeah, for sure. It's a tricky game, but if you can get it right, it's like it makes a world of difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, simplifying that, like
Hmm.
I think people overthink a lot and being able to simplify that is it's a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it demystifying it too, because I think it's like you hear SEO, you need to get your SEO right. You need to get found in Google. You need to do this. And it's like, oh, you could pay to have your,
Hmm.
your listing bumped up to the top, but it's like that's not really people skip past that because they know that the top searches are the ones that are being paid for, or it's like you can kind of
Yeah.
tell that
Well, and you're competing with ad space on those. You're competing against giant corporations with a huge ad spend. So
exactly.
no, let's maybe not.
Yeah.
Let's maybe not spend. I think Google gives you like $500 in ad credits or something when you sign up. That tells you something. Like if they can
Yeah.
just give away $500 in ad credits, how much do you have to spend to be found in Google?
Right.
Versus just
Yeah.
organic traffic is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too, if you find, look at it, the organic traffic are like the ones that are going to stick around because they intentionally
Mm-hmm.
found you and they intentionally were looking for what you're offering. And so
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, at least, that's been my biggest kind of push for myself is to just keep s- using like local word of mouth, friends of friends, kind of like tell your friends about me kind of thing, like, or trying to focus on, yeah, just like getting growing things as organically as possible without a ton of spending. I'm not going to spend, because like uh, Facebook's like, oh, if you just spend this many dollars, we can reach this many people. And it's like, yeah, but how many of those people are going to actually stick around and, convert to a real customer? And it can be, it can just feel like a crapshoot and you're just dumping money into something that isn't really turning into anything positive. So,
Right. Well, ads are like nobody should be running ads anyway unless their organic content's converting.
mhm,
Like you still have work to do if your
yeah,
organic content's not converting. Like don't throw
yeah,
money, you know. Why are you going to throw fuel on a fire that's not burning the right thing?
right.
Like, oh my goodness, cat. You are crazy. Um she can't stand it if you're sitting. She has to be in your lap.
hmm
So yeah, no, I'm like, and I'm not an ads girl either. I'm just
Yeah.
like, listen, my organic content's doing it. So
Yeah.
it's fine. At this point, I can't scale and keep up.
Mhm.
Like there's no point running ads like now right now because I can't keep up with more than what I'm already doing. I'm
Right.
at max capacity.
Yeah.
And honestly, like prioritizing regulation and downtime so much that I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't want to do more.
Yeah.
I don't like you
Yeah.
couldn't pay me at this point to do more. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely it's definitely a shift to like put, rest and mental health as a priority versus only making money or only working on the business kind of thing. Like, and I think too, when you do that, you're going to see growth in places where maybe you weren't expecting it, but I think
hmm
it all kind of starts to gel together. Like the things that are going to feed and support that perspective, like my rest and my well-being matters more than anything else, kind of like the way that things start to shift and grow in different ways when you prioritize yourself too is like, at least for me, I've seen a shift in the kinds of customers that I work with and the kinds of people that find my business and want to work with me. It's like they're in that same space too, and they don't put a lot of pressure, on me to
yeah,
be a machine because I'm just a person and like I have a fancy machine, but it's still me has to run it. I still have to have the physical ability to do it. So anyway,
for sure. Yeah.
but yeah,
Yep. You teach people how to treat you. Yep.
exactly. Yeah. So there's lots of ways people can interact with you online. They can get to you from your Instagram
Mm-hmm. Yep.
link in your bio. And if they don't know where to find you, you're on Instagram at Amy Lawless Creative.
Mm-hmm.
You say it Lawless?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You said it right.
Okay, good.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
like,
nobody
wait,
ever gets it right. I'm like, it's like
really?
Hollis, but with an L.
That's
Like
what I thought.
the English works on that.
Yeah.
Like people mess it up all the time.
Yeah. Well,
That's okay.
I think also being a teacher for 8 years gave me
Oh
kind
yeah, you
of
taught like basic. Yeah, you taught phonics, so I guess.
phonics and grammar, but also just like interacting with a lot of people's names.
Mm-hmm.
I usually ask it before we start recording how to pronounce people's names, but I was like, I've got this one. I felt
Fine.
I felt
It's
confident.
totally
Like it's
fine.
probably like Hollis, but anyway, okay. So
Yep.
Amy
Oh my
Lawless
gosh.
Creative on Instagram. People can find what you've got to offer there and see your content. And I have just been loving your kind of the candidness with which you share information and like, the things I would tell you if it wouldn't hurt your feelings and
Mm-hmm.
the takeaways from your own business and just being raw and real with it. Cause I think if people want to be successful, they have to know that it is going to be shitty and hard sometimes, and you're going to try stuff and it's going to fail. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just how business works. And being able to be honest with yourself about things that are working or not working is so important. And I think that's how businesses stay up, stay floating and stay thriving is when the business owner can be that honest about it. So I just think it's seeing your content is like a refreshing reminder that like, oh, it's okay to say if something's not working and it's okay to shift and it's okay to take a harder look at things and really dig in and put the work towards the things that are working. So
Yep. Well, if something's failing, it's almost never the algorithm or your customers. It's you.
yeah,
You have to own it. So
yeah,
I don't like whining about it or, placing blame somewhere else is not productive. So
yeah, I
that's what we're
agree.
here for. We're here to grow.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining me today. But before we hop off of here, do you have a tip or piece of advice that you would want to share with the listeners?
Ooh, yes. So my absolute favorite for quilters, not necessarily for business owners. Although if you are a business owner, like this is extra juicy for you. But my favorite tip for anything is to like radically clean out your craft supplies and get rid of anything that doesn't just absolutely light you up. I do not care who gave it to you. I don't care how much money you spent on it. Get rid of anything that doesn't just make your soul sink. Cut into the good
Mm.
fabric. And whatever you have left after you've gotten rid of the things you don't love, that is your style.
Mm.
Like that is who you are meant to be. That is your soul. And at that point, you're going to love every single thing you make. So when I did that, what I had left, I was like, oof, man, I got rid of 90% of my fabric. And what I had left was a brand that I built. It was a style. I was like, oh, this is it. Okay.
Yeah. I love that because I think it's hard it's like, well, but I bought that at this place, or I liked it 10 years ago. It's like, don't be that lady that dies with so much fabric that they're selling it at an estate sale for 50 cents a yard. It's like,
Yeah. I'm gonna have the world's shittiest estate sale because I just buy what I love and use it myself.
yeah, it's so
Yeah. My kids are
smart.
gonna have like 5 million quilts when I'm dead to fight over, but my estate sale is gonna be crappy,
Yeah.
which is great. That's good.
Yeah.
It's life
I'd
goals.
rather not have so much shit for my loved ones to deal with after I'm gone and like stuff to get rid of versus like things that I've left behind that they want to keep because I made
Mm-hmm.
it. Like I'd
Right.
rather
Yeah.
have 500 quilts than have 500 yards of fabric. So,
That nobody wants
exactly.
being sold for $3 a pound. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Felt.
Oh, I love that. That's a perfect piece of advice. It's a good tip, especially because we're in the beginning of the year. People feel that urge to like purge and clean out and reset for the upcoming kind of springtime sewing and
Oh, I'm so ready for that.
I know,
I
me
love spring
too.
sewing. When it's like
I
starting to warm up, but it's like rainy and moody outside. Oh,
oh
it's my favorite. I'm
yeah.
so creative during spring and fall.
Mm-hmm. Same, because it's like when things are changing and shifting and everything's kind of
Mm-hmm.
moving, you're either moving into more light, you know, more warmth, more daylight to do things, and then the hunkering down of like, okay, I'm ready to be back inside and sew, and it's getting colder and cozy, and you kind of have like projects to keep you inside. And yeah, I'm with
Yeah,
you. I
still
love
love
it
it.
too.
Yeah.
So, well, cool. Thank you so much for being on here
Thank
today,
you.
and I loved getting to chat with you and get to know
Yeah.
you, and
Same.
hopefully we'll stay connected and we'll
Same,
look for
same.
what you've got coming up.
Yay. Thank you.